Hi brides, it's Angie with Bridal Boss. Today we're going to be talking about questions. Questions that you have, questions your vendors have, questions. And I'm just going to stay in line with that whole communications theme that we've been talking about for the last couple of episodes. Communication is key, and communication is so important in planning your wedding. So today I've kind of compiled a bunch of questions and points that I've gotten from people that have had experience in their weddings and from the vendor side of, what is considered okay to ask and what's considered not okay to ask, and what you need to know when you're formulating those questions before you go in, what those questions need to be, what you need to be asking. So let's start with asking open-ended questions and why that's important to ask open-ended questions or not ask open-ended questions. First question that is an example would be, do you have my date available? That's really just a cut and dry type question because, you ask them, okay, do you have my date available? Yes or no. They're either going to tell you, yes, it's available, or no, it's not available. And really you want to give them some room, the vendor some room to let you know why it's available, why it's not available. So another way you can ask that question would be, on what dates do you have available? So give them maybe several dates that you would be open to. Okay, I want to get married in March, and I'm looking at this Saturday, and this Saturday. Which of these Saturdays do you have available? And then if they say, I don't have any of those Saturdays available, well, is it because you have an event going on in the morning? What times do you have available on this day? Instead of just saying, do you have this day available? They might only have an event going on in the morning, but yet after lunch, they might have the rest of the day open. But because you've just said, do you have this day available? They're gonna say no because they know they already have an event. But if you ask that open-ended question of, well, what dates do you have available and what time? Then they can say, well, this date is not available at this time, but would be available at this time. It might give you a little bit more to work with as far as having like an afternoon wedding. They might be ready for you by the time that first party is gone, and then you can come in for the afternoon time. Or vice versa, they might have an event going on after 1 or 2 o'clock, but yet they have the whole morning open. And an extra added bonus to that is that it might be even cheaper to have them book that time for you in the morning, because it might be cheaper to use it in the morning time for your wedding instead of the afternoon. About your florist. So let's think about this question. What's the best way to position my flowers at my wedding and look good and cost effective? So this is a really detailed and long question, and your florist is probably gonna be like, what? Oh my gosh, why are you asking that like that? You're gonna throw them off because they're used to people coming in saying, I want this rose, I want this color, and I want this many, and I want it to be this price. They're not expecting somebody to come in and ask their opinion. You might be going in thinking, okay, I know I want peach in my wedding, I want some cream colored tones, but I have no idea what flowers other than roses, are gonna be peach. So you might go in and say, you know what, to the florist, I want peach for my wedding, but I have no idea what flowers. What flower would you recommend? And that lets them know that you're valuing their opinion. You want to have their input on their experience, because obviously they're in this industry because of what they've done in the past. They're passionate about being in this industry, and they have the experience and the knowledge to help you get to your vision and your dream wedding that you want. The second thing we're going to talk about in questions is asking personal questions. I talked about this too a few episodes back, about asking the vendors things maybe more about them. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? To let them know that you really care and that you're engaging in a relationship with them for your big day. Another question that you might ask them that kind of ties in with planning your wedding is, did you plan your own wedding? And it's very interesting to get their responses and see what's going on with them, because, a lot of them, like I said, are in this industry because either from their own wedding, their own experiences, they wanted to make it better for other people, or something that they're just passionate about. You can ask them, okay, For your wedding, what kind of flowers did you use? For your wedding, if it's a caterer, what kind of food did you use? What made you get into catering in the first place? Ask them those questions. You never know what kind of response you get and what kind of answer it might tie in with some of the things that you're trying to plan, because they might think back and think, I know you want barbecue for your wedding. For my wedding, we catered with a barbecue service. They were horrible, and that's the whole reason I catered, because I know how to cook and I know how to make good barbecue. And we did XYZ to make it so much better for other people's wedding. And I think I'm gonna do that for you. Since you want barbecue, I'm gonna do this for you. And guess what? I'm gonna give you a discount, or I'm gonna do this. There might be something they throw in extra that you never even were expecting, all because you asked a personal question. So let's recap too. Also, if you have somebody that is, doing your hair, your makeup, your dress, picking out all of those kind of personal items, you might ask them, okay, say it's a hairstylist, makeup artist, and you're asking them, if you had a dream wedding and you could do hair any way you want, what would you do? And they could give you so many ideas, maybe examples of pictures that you've never seen before that would be awesome to use in your wedding. So pick their brains, get them thinking about things that you never even thought possible, and let's get going with those questions. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you soon.